In WWE, every match could be your last. One wrong move, one mistimed landing, and years of hard work can disappear in a second. But some superstars didn't just survive their injuries, they came back stronger, faster, and more determined than ever before. These are the top 10 WWE superstars who came back stronger after injury and proved that true champions never stayed down for long. 1. John Cena, the human machine. When John Cena got injured, doctors said he'd be out for at least 7 months. It was 2008, and Cena had just suffered a torn pectoral muscle that looked career-threatening. But Cena isn't called Super Cena for nothing. In just 2 months, he shocked the entire WWE universe when his theme song hit at the Royal Rumble and the crowd exploded. Cena not only returned early, he came back stronger, winning the whole match. That night proved that John Cena's greatest superpower wasn't his strength, it was his willpower. 2. Edge, the miracle comeback. Edge's story is one of the most emotional in WWE history. In 2011, he was forced to retire after being diagnosed with spinal stenosis, a narrowing of the spine that could have left him paralyzed. He walked away as world champion, believing he'd never wrestle again. But 9 years later, in 2020, the impossible happened. At the Royal Rumble, that familiar "You Think You Know Me" hit, and the crowd went wild. Edge looked sharper, stronger, and more motivated than ever before. That moment wasn't just a comeback, it was redemption. 3. Triple H, the game never quits. Triple H tore his quadriceps muscle completely off the bone in 2001. It was one of the most gruesome injuries in WWE history. He couldn't even walk. Most people would have taken a year or more to recover. But just 8 months later, the game made one of the loudest returns ever at Madison Square Garden. When his music hit, the entire arena shook. He came back, won the Undisputed Championship, and proved that the game always plays to win. 4. Rey Mysterio, the high flyer who refused to quit. Rey's body has been through it all. Torn knees, shoulder surgeries, and endless punishment from high-risk moves. Doctors told him multiple times to slow down or quit, but Rey's love for wrestling was stronger than the pain. After each surgery, he came back better, faster, more technical, and still flying like he was 25. From battling giants like the Great Khali to teaming with his son Dominic, Rey showed that heart beats size every single time. 5. The Undertaker, wrestling through pain and legacy. For nearly 30 years, The Undertaker carried WWE on his back, literally. But by the 2010s, that back was almost broken. Years of high-impact matches left him barely able to walk. Doctors warned him he could never wrestle again after multiple hip and knee surgeries. But in true deadman fashion, he returned. Again and again for Wrestlemania moments fans will never forget. Even in pain, The Undertaker delivered legendary matches because he wasn't fighting for himself. He was fighting for the legacy of the business he built. 6. Brock Lesnar, the beast who cheated death. Brock Lesnar's injuries weren't all from the ring, some came from something deadlier. After leaving WWE in 2004, he suffered a life-threatening case of diverticulitis that nearly killed him. He dropped massive weight, could barely eat, and almost retire forever. But when he returned to WWE in 2012, he was a different animal. He destroyed everyone, John Cena, The Undertaker, Randy Orton, and became the most dominant force of the modern era. Brock didn't just survive, he came back to conquer. 7. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the neck that never healed. In 1997, Stone Cold broke his neck after a botched piledriver from Owen Hart. Doctors told him to retire immediately, but Austin wasn't ready to quit. He changed his style, focusing less on technical wrestling and more on brawling, and it worked. The injury that should have ended him instead created the Stone Cold persona fans love. Beer in hand, middle fingers up, Austin came back meaner, tougher, and angrier than ever, and he carried WWE through the entire Attitude Era. 8. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid Reborn. After a brutal back injury in 1998, Shawn Michaels was told he'd never wrestle again. For 4 years, he stayed away from the ring, focusing on recovery and faith. But when he returned in 2002 against Triple H, it was pure magic. Not only did he still have it, he was better than ever. HBK went on to deliver classics with Undertaker, Jericho, and Kurt Angle. His second career run was so good it almost outshined the first. 9. Kurt Angle, broken neck, unbreakable spirit. Kurt Angle wrestled in the Olympics with a broken neck, and that same injury haunted him throughout his WWE career. He had multiple surgeries, took time off, but always came back stronger. Even when the pain became unbearable, he pushed through, delivering technical masterpieces in every era. Kurt Angle's comeback to WWE in 2017 was proof that his love for wrestling was stronger than pain itself. 10. Randy Orton, the Viper's venom never fades. Randy Orton's career almost ended in 2022 due to a serious back injury that required surgery. Rumors spread that he might never wrestle again, but Orton kept training in silence, healing and preparing. By the time he returned at Survivor Series 2023, he looked in the best shape of his life. The Viper had shed his pain and come back hungrier, reminding everyone that legends never die. They just evolve. These 10 superstars didn't just recover, they rewrote what it means to be tough. Because in wrestling, it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up. If you enjoyed this deep dive into WWE's greatest comeback stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Which comeback inspired you the most? Cena, Edge, or the dead man himself?